Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so welcome to another live recipe with me, Chef Day, here in my kitchen. So I'm just going to make sure that I can see all of your comments and I can see who has come into the room. And also, I just want to check that the sound. Are we good for the sound? And how is everybody today? How is everybody today? It would be really, really lovely for you to let us know. And obviously for the people like who come back time and time again, but also for the new people. For the new people, please do let me know if you're new here and where you're from. That would be great. And also any ways that we can help you, any ways that we can help you at all. Okay, so we have our live up here, and let's just see who is with us today. Okay, so Paul already in the room, Justine, Karen, thank you for joining us. Right, okay, so yeah, so today, oh, Camilla, thank you for joining us, and Aofi. Is that how I say it? Is that how I say it? Lou, thank you for joining me. Lou is one of my best friends, so it's really, really nice when she pops along. Kelly, hi. Tiziana, lovely to have you. Thank you for saying a hello to us. Justine says it's it says that I'm making the cheesecake again today. It does. It does. Just give me a second, guys. Let me change that out. There we go. Right, let's get rid of that. And I did do all these updates, but you know, it hasn't done its thing. So there we go. There we go. Let's add this. See, you can see me doing it in live time now, and you can see all of the different ways that we do these things. Give me just a second. Right, there we go, guys. There we go. That's what we're making today. That's what we're making today. So let's just go over here and we can see that, look, I'm making the cheesecake again today, apparently. Let's get rid of that. And then I've just got to go and sort out a camera angle, guys. So just give me a second. Okay, guys, sorry, you're going to have to give me a second because one of our camera angles has gone. It's completely gone. So let me just try and get it back. Right, okay, and there we go. Let's just sort this one out now. There we go, we can get rid of that. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. Technical stuff, huh? I wish I could just like cook all day rather than have to deal with all of this gadgetry. But yes, we are making a rhubarb chutney today with oatcakes. So this is using this lovely rhubarb that Jeff bought me from the allotment. So if you guys have allotments in the UK, please do let me know. That would be really, really nice to know, and let us know what you're growing as well. Also, really, really good information. So, so we've got a visitor. We've got one of the cats is around. They find it so interesting when I'm cooking. Yes, so if you guys have an allotment, do let me know. Let me know if you grow stuff as well. So Jeff is an avid grower of veggies. I am an avid cooker and eater of veggies. So you know, match made in heaven. But you know, we've got he's got the allotment obviously. But we've got a few things growing in our back garden now as well. And I know that Lou definitely has some things growing in her garden. Very, very tall sunflowers. She's very good at that. Very, very good at that. Okay, so somebody said that they love my shirt. This is my shirt. I have to stand on tiptoes so you can see it. And so, yeah, this does mean that I am going to venture out for a run today. Colleen says that she doesn't have rhubarb. Can I sub with apple? Yes, absolutely you can. You can. Okay, right. Okay, let me just see if we've got any more questions here before we get going. Denise, good morning. Catherine, thank you for saying hello. David, good morning from Canada. Tell us about fennel seeds, please. Okay, so if we come over to this view, we can see that we have our ingredients here, and we have some lovely fennel seeds. So we're using fennel seeds today because they're a really, really great accompaniment to rhubarb. Really, really lovely combination there. But also these are great for digestion. Really, really great for digestion. And I said to you guys many a time that there is no spice that doesn't have some good effect that it gives you. So sneaking spices into all of your diet, you know, no matter what you're even eating, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, sneak in some spices, some spice seeds, and it will really help boost your overall nutrition. Okay, so just gonna see if we've got any more comments. A few people really liking the t-shirt, which is good. And before we get started, I just wanted to get you guys to have a look at this. So quite a few of you I know are already in the group. But for those guys who haven't ventured into the group yet and are kind of like wondering what it's about, this is our chef school community hub. So this is basically a place where you guys can share pictures of your own food. There we go. We've got Eddie, who's a new member, who's been sharing some of his lovely recipes recently, including, you know, the written recipe, so not just the picture, that can inspire you. We let you know, obviously, you know, any updates in there, little tips on things like this thermometer that I use for my oven. So we'll post bits and pieces in there, but also you guys can post your pictures in here as well. So here we've got Justine, who has completely gone to the top of the class because she made the cheesecake live with us yesterday. And so I think that that is a total win. The only thing that Justine needs to work on is using a smaller cake tin. But it is really brave of her to do this like really quite technical recipe with us live. So thank you for doing that, Justine. That's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And just along here, we've started sharing the details of our live recipes. So here you can see the ingredients and then you can cook along with us, which is great. And you can see in here as well, Justine has asked like a question about, you know, she doesn't have one of the ingredients and can we do subs? Absolutely, you know, so that's a really, really good way for you guys to ask us questions and then you can cook along with us. We have this lovely share by Kerry, who made the carrot lox recipe, which was one that we did quite a few weeks ago. So that is the community hub, and thank you, thank you, thank you to anybody who has been sharing in there, because it's really, really lovely seeing all you guys, you know, do your things and, you know, create like really lovely recipes. And it's great for me to be able to see what you guys want to see. What you guys want to see. So, you know, it gives me like a really, really good idea about where you guys are at, if there are some recipes of ours that you struggled with, because we can also offer troubleshooting information. And that's, you know, that is like such a big key when you're learning to cook, because, you know, quite often when you start really cooking, you make a recipe and it doesn't quite go right and you think, oh, it's me, I'm rubbish, I can't do this, I've done something wrong. But if you can come to us and then we can talk to you about, you know, what happened and what didn't go quite right, and then we can unpick it. And then usually, you know, there's some type of tip, you know, we can like really drill down and figure out like what was the one thing that went wrong. And, you know, sometimes it can be something really, really easy, like, you know, it might be like the brand of one of the ingredients that you use was a bit different to the one that we use, or something like that. And it can just be like a little thing. And so with Justine's, I know that she's been a bit embarrassed because I've just put her picture onto our live, but she did really, really, really well. And the only thing that she needs to change about that recipe is the receptacle that she uses, is the cake tin that she uses, and then she'll be good to go, because the top of it looked perfect. the top of it was browned, and and that's the thing, if you're a bit worried about like your cooking skills, you're going to think that it's you, but I can tell you it's not going to be. Nobody is a disaster in the kitchen. I was once a disaster in the kitchen. I used to burn rice. So if I can do this, then I can get you guys to come along with me and do this as well. So we'll be fine. Okay, so we've got another issue with the ingredients list. Sorry about this, guys. I don't know why it didn't save. So let me just put you guys on here for the moment. You can have a look at my lovely arm and recipes, and I'll just get this changed over. Okay, there we go. Right, okay, so sorry, just be a second. Blah, blah, blah. Right, okay, and back to here, and as if by magic, I'll take all of these out. The only thing that I paid attention to with this was, there we go, that cute little bag was up there. That is like literally like the only thing that I paid attention to, was that the bag was up there. Okay, right, here we go, guys. There we go. Okay, let's get this little bag out of the way. Where can you go? There we go. You can go down here. Right there. Cute, huh? Yeah. Okay, right, so guys, sorry about that. You're like totally like seeing behind the scenes. What is it? Seeing behind like the red curtain or whatever it is today. So, but it's Sunday. It's a Sunday. Right, okay, so we are going to be making this rhubarb chutney. We've got all of our ingredients here, and then we've got our oatcake. So if any of you guys are cooking along, then pop your oven on to, it's 150 degrees, which is 300 degrees Fahrenheit, gas Mark 2. So 150 degrees Celsius, 300 degrees Fahrenheit, gas Mark 2. So you got that, guys? There we go. Okay, Colleen said that she didn't realise it was yesterday's ingredients until she hit the fourth or fifth one. Yeah, sorry about that. Gosh, really is quite a day today, isn't it? Oops. Okay, right. We are going to make the chutney first, so that then we can get that going, and that can be bubbling away whilst we then do the oatcakes. So the rhubarb chutney, the rhubarb chutney, we are going to cut it into small pieces so that then it will cook a lot quicker. Okay, so we'll first start off by chopping our veggies over here, and you need a nice wide pan as well. We'll use one like this. So this is a good stainless steel one. The heat's going to really conduct very easily with this one. So we can pop that onto our hob here, and then we'll just start by prepping the rhubarb. So if you guys are using anything else, I know that I think Justine is using apple today, then you can peel, if you peel the apple and then chop it into chunks. So with the rhubarb, I've just taken the end off, and I'm just taking some of the skin off because it can be a bit hard. It can be a bit chewy. We don't want it to be chewy. So just taking these off. Okay, and take that nasty bit off there. There we go. And now I'm just going to cut it into small pieces. So you can do it in big pieces if you want. If you do it in bigger pieces, then it will take longer. That's the only thing that will happen. And because you guys are here with me, I don't want it to take too long at all. So I'm going to cut it into pieces like that. There we go. So the chutney is actually really, really, really easy, because we're just going to pop it all into a pan, bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer. Okay. Justine said, can I use dates instead of figs? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Dates is a really, really good substitution. I like using figs because I just really, really love figs, and I like the little crunch that you get. Justine says, no, I didn't have apples, so I'm using interesting ingredients today. Good for you. Good for you. I love it when people get creative and don't feel that they have to stick to a recipe. It's really, really great. Okay, and just prep this other one here as well. So actually now this is done, we can pop it into our pan. Justine, I'd be really interested to know, what are you using? What are you using instead of rhubarb or apple? So you can use like other fruit. It's better to use something like, you know, pear or peach, or, you know, that type of fruit that's got a bit more body to it, rather than berries that will just kind of like turn to mush. We need a fruit with a bit of body to it. Okay. There is something really, really satisfying about doing this. Really satisfying. Right, there we go. And just once again, chop these into more manageable pieces. And then once again into small chunks. So if you guys have never eaten rhubarb, I don't know if it grows everywhere, you see. So, you know, some people from other countries, you may not have had it. But it is a very, very tart ingredient to use. So whenever you're using it, you do need sugar. You really do need sugar, or like some sort of sweetness to combine it with. Otherwise it will make your mouth pucker. It really will. It is incredibly sour. Justine said tinned rhubarb and extra leeked onion. I haven't gone shopping. That's okay. That's okay. Tinned rhubarb is a great idea. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be lovely, I'm sure. Okay, so all of the rhubarb in our pan, and then just taking the outer skin off our onion. So you can use a leek if you want, or you could use spring onion. That would be a really lovely substitution. Paul said, vegan chef, artist, allotment coordinator, athlete, and proficient IT day. Thank you for that compliment, especially the thing about the IT, because I don't feel very competent with the IT today. There we go. Okay, right, okay, so we just need to roughly chop this. Doesn't have to be small. Don't put a whole onion in though. You do need to chop it a little bit. So we'll just whack that into our pan. And just again, roughly chopping it, because we are going to be, well, you can decide whether to blend it or not. You can keep it kind of a bit chunky, and, you know, but with all the pieces soft, or you can blend it. So we're going to pop that into our tub, and then into our saucepan, and then with our figs, so you just want to make sure that, oh look, I've stalled. So today is the day for technical issues, apparently. There we go. Okay, right, so with the figs, we just want to take off that tip bit here, because that will stay hard and it won't go soft if we cook it. So we just need to take that hard bit off. And then with the figs, we can actually just tear them. And the reason why I'm not using a knife for it is because the knives can get really sticky. Really sticky. There we go. I think we've got gremlins. We've got gremlins in the house today, in the kitchen today. There we go. Oh, Jenny says that she's got rhubarb from her allotment in her freezer. Also growing potatoes, beetroot, bok choy, leeks, lettuce, raspberries, onions, garlic, celeriac, carrots, courgettes, pumpkins. Fingers crossed it all comes up this hot dry. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, we've got like an allotment demigod on this show. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay, guys, I think that we're all back now. So I think the only thing that you missed when the video froze was me cutting the onion. So here, let me get the pan over. So basically you just missed me, I think, cutting the onion, and I just cut it into chunks. That was it. There we go. Okay, so get rid of all of these little bits from the figs. I'm just going to give my hands a little rinse. Okay, and now into our pan we add 50 grams of sugar. I'm going to be using coconut sugar because I really, really like it. You don't have to. You can use whatever sugar you want. That's absolutely fine. So we'll just pop that into our pan here. And then, of course, we've got our fennel seeds. If you don't like the taste of fennel, then use something else. That's absolutely fine. Lots of sweet spices go really, really well in here. So, you know, we are going to be using cinnamon, but ginger would work really, really well. So you can just use some ground ginger. So we'll just pop our cinnamon in here, and our fennel can just be popped in there. And then here we have our vinegar. So we have 150 grams of apple cider vinegar in here. You can use any type of light vinegar. That's absolutely fine. Whatever you have at home, we can just pop that in. Even something like coconut vinegar. You know, for a while I had that in my cupboard because, you know, I'd use it for a recipe and then didn't use it again. So let me just bring this over so you guys can see a bit more. We can just pop the hob on if it works, because, you know, it's the day where like these things are just not going to work for me. Right, and we'll bring it right up to a high heat. We are going to put it on 9 today. Pop the lid on and just get it up to boiling, and then bring the temperature down. There we go. Hey, what a day! What a day! Oh, well, technology is just not having it at all, is it, today? Right, okay, so that can be bubbling away. I have put it on at the highest heat. You know that this is a demon, so it is going to get bubbling really, really quickly. I've put a lid on it so that it does that even quicker. So that's a great way to reduce the amount of energy we use, is to always use a lid to get things up to temperature. And then if it's something that needs to bubble away uncovered, then take the lid off. So same if you're boiling water in a pan, always use the lid, just so that it doesn't take as long to get to boiling point as it would with the lid off. Justine was just asking about the sugar. Yes, so we've got the ingredients list up now, and so you guys will see them. I mean, would it be useful to you guys if the ingredients list was on every view? So let me know. Let me know. Would you like us to do that? Because I can see if we can do that, and then you'll be able to see the ingredients list throughout the whole show if you want to. So there is that option. Okay, so we'll come back to here just for a quick squiz. This bubbling away, so I am going to reduce it to a 3 and just pop the lid back on and let that bubble away. So that will take about half an hour. We just need the, sorry, let's come over here. There you are. So you will just need to cook it until the rhubarb gets soft, okay? And the rhubarb is cooked. So that's the only real thing that we want to cook out, basically. Okay, so on to the next recipe. So we have our 200 grams of oats here, and we just need to pop our oven on. So it is set to 150 degrees Celsius. So that's 300 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 2. And let's move this as well because we don't need this anymore. I don't know if anybody has actually seen our rainbow today. I don't know if it was like a bit too far away. Don't know, was it a bit too far away? Because nobody's been guessing. Maybe it was a bit too far away. So let's just come over here for a moment and then you might be able to see what it is. But it might be a bit of a difficult one today because it's white on white. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, so while we are doing that, while you guys are trying to guess what is at the end of my rainbow, I'm just going to grab a pan. Okay, any guesses? Any guesses? Right, okay, back to it. So I've got a little frying pan. I'm just going to pop a little bit of water in it. There we go. And in here, we have 4 tablespoons of refined coconut oil. So the refined coconut oil is one that doesn't have any flavour in it. It doesn't taste or smell of coconut. But if you want that flavour, then you can use that. We're using this because it is an oil that hardens when it's cooled, and that's what we want. So I'm just going to pop it onto the other stove. And whilst that is melting on the stove, let me see if we've got any guesses about what's at the end of our rainbow today. Okay, so quite a few of you have said that you would like to see an ingredients list on every view. Okay, so we'll definitely do that for Tuesday's show. We'll do that for Tuesday's show. Lou said, behind your star. Yes, and I think Lou might be the only person who knows what is written on the star. Denise says, I can see it, but I can't make out the writing. So this is something that my sister bought for me a while ago. And I thought that with what's going on at the moment, it's a really good thing to remember. And also because we have rainbows on the show, then it's a really good thing to remember. Okay, right, there we go. So it says, when it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. There we go. Just keep that there for a second so you guys can read it. There, cute, huh? Right. Okay. Now, back to our oat cakes. And if you guys come over here, then there we go. Right, we can blitz our oats. So you can use any type of food processor for this. I'm using this kind of like Nutri-Ninja thing here. But any type of food processor will do this. So we're going to start by grinding the oats. So we'll just pop them into our little tub here. Denise says that she loves that quote. Yeah, me too. Me too, it's a good one. Okay, so this recipe for oatcakes will make 1 tray of oatcakes. So, you know, it is quite generous, but you'll be making quite a lot of chutney. So you'll need quite a lot of oatcakes to go with it. And they keep very, very well. Okay, so we'll just pop them in here. And you guys should come back to this view so that you can see a bit better. Okay, so we'll just pop this on. Right, there we go. Let that go away. And occasionally, you might need to just give it a bit of a shake. There we go. And you can kind of like hear whether there are any big bits of oat still in there. There we go. And as you may have seen, I was tapping the side, and that was because all of the mixture, it comes up around here, and if you tap it on the side, then it encourages more to fall back into the middle, which is where the blades are. So basically it encourages it to blend quicker. Basically, that's what it is. There we go. Right, okay, so we can put this back over there now, and let me just see how the oil is doing. There we go. Okay. So the oil that I'm using, it doesn't take long to melt at all. It really doesn't, and it doesn't take a long time to cook out either, and it cooks out really, really well. So, you know, I think refined coconut oil is one of those ingredients that you discover with vegan cooking. And you're like, why have I only just heard of this? Why have I only just heard of this? Because it's such a great product. It's a really, really good product. It's great for making pastry. Really good for making pastry because it solidifies. It solidifies, so you know it's very good at making flaky pastry. Okay, so we'll just pop this into our bowl and we'll mix it in here rather than here because it can be a bit tricky to mix things properly in here. Now, let me just see how this is doing. Okay, so it's really bubbling away, but needs a bit more time than we've given it. So now we can add our pepper. You guys don't have to add this if you want to. I really like making oatcakes peppery, and I love white pepper. So here we have half a teaspoon of ground white pepper, and then 1 teaspoon of salt, and mix that in really, really well. So mix this in before you put any of the liquids in it. Mix the powders together. Right, there we go. And then we want to make a well in the centre. There we go. And we need to get our oil. So this has, right on time, melted really well. Let's come back over to this for you guys so that you can see. And we'll just pop our water in there and our oil. There we go, and mix this in really well. And it will become quite firm. That's absolutely fine. That's what it should be like. So now it's getting to be, you know, quite difficult to mix. But that's it. So we don't have to mix it any more than that. There we go, that's fine. So I will now go and get some baking sheets. So we have 2 baking sheets here. I've got one that's a reusable one and one that isn't, but it is better to use 2. It's just going to make rolling this out a lot easier. So we just pop our oatcake mixture here, pat it down. And this is just going to make it easier for us to roll out. There we go. Pop the other sheet over the top of it. So this way we're not going to be getting our rolling pin dirty, which is an added bonus, but it isn't the main reason why we're doing it. But it means that, you know, in order for it not to stick, we're not having to add any powder. So, you know, usually when you're rolling out pastry, you have some flour and then you add the flour to the rolling pin, making sure that it doesn't stick. But then that can change the ratio of the dry to wet ingredients in whatever you're rolling, basically. So this is just such an easier way of doing it. And I do actually have 2 reusable baking sheets that I use, but one is currently busy with here's one I made earlier, oatcakes. So as you can see, I keep turning this around and really rolling it on all corners, trying to make sure that it is as even as possible. And I can feel that at the top there, it's a bit too thick. So I'm going to pull some of that down, bring it down into this edge. There we go. I'm sorry I'm moving around so much, guys, but with this job it's necessary just to try and make it as even as possible. Kelly has a really good question. How much attention should we pay to picking a rolling pin? Will any old pin be fine? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. This was, I think, like £1 from Tesco or something like that. So, you know, and it's really, really nice and solid. I like these ones. I prefer these ones than ones that have the handle on the end, because there's less that can go wrong with this one. It's just really basic. Really, really basic, and it just kind of like, it does what it's supposed to. There's nothing kind of like fine or fancy about it. It's just a solid piece of wood. Okay, so we can now take off that sheet and get our baking tray. Here we go, guys. Right, okay, so if we come over here, there we go, guys. So we've got our baking tray here. So I'm just going to put this on the edge of my counter and then slide this on. There we go. Easy. And then we can pop that into the oven for around 30 to 35 minutes. Okay, and of course, here's one I made earlier. So this is our oatcakes. Now, Chris, you'll see that sometimes you can get like fissures in it, which is absolutely fine, because what I like about these oatcakes is that they have a rustic feel, and I think that oatcakes should be like that. So there are some recipes on the internet that show you how to cut them into squares and, you know, all manner of shapes. But I don't really like that with my oatcakes. With my oatcakes and my chutney, it's like there's something like so homely and rustic about it that I want them to look homely and rustic. So with my oatcakes, I never make them into shapes. I just simply pull them apart like that. So we've got big oatcakes basically, but they're all, you know, different shapes and sizes and, you know, that type of thing. And they look a bit more kind of like artisan-like rather than, you know, mass-produced. So we can just cut them, so just tear them up into pieces like this. Yeah, and then so that's our oatcake. So about 30 to 35 minutes in the oven. Make sure that your oven temperature is 150 degrees. If your oven is slightly on the warm side, then bring that temperature down. Okay, so let's have a look at how our rhubarb chutney is doing. And let's see if anybody else says, oh, Erin said that the sound's delayed. Is it anyone else or just me? Okay, so is anybody else having that problem? Okay, I think I had that problem actually the other day when I was admin for Nikki. Yeah, I was admin for Nikki and I had that problem. Okay, so let's have a look at this and see how it is doing. Now, one word of warning: when you're bubbling cooking vinegar, it can get a bit stingy in your eyes. So just beware of that. Beware of that. So I'm just going to grab a fork and we'll see how the rhubarb is cooked. Okay. So we need to spoon some out Just see if we can find some bits of onion which are well cooked. See, the vinegar's getting in my eyes. It is a bit stingy. It is a bit stingy. But this has really, really cooked down very, very well. Now we still have these big pieces of fig in it. So, you know, it's really up to you guys. Do you want to keep it chunky as it is right now? Or do you want to blend it? So we'll just change over to another view and I will get some that I made a few days ago that I blended so you can see the difference. Right. Okay, and we'll come over here. Okay, right, so here we go, guys. So this is some that I made a few days ago. And I did blend this one, so there we go. So it's like that. So you can actually see some of the little fig seeds in there, which is really, really lovely. So you can blend it just with a hand blender if you want to. So if everything is cooked in your pan, then go ahead and blend it now, but just be really, really careful because hot sugar in the pan, and that will be really, really hot if it gets onto your skin, you know, something like that. So really, really be careful if you're going to blend it straight away. If you've got time, then let it cool down and then blend it. But yeah, if you want to, then just use a hand blender or something like that. If you're going to use like a food processor that has like a plastic jug or, you know, container or anything like that, then definitely let it cool down first and then blend it. And the reason why is because it's such a high temperature, it can force plastic to crack. And you definitely don't want to destroy your food processor or blender because of me, please. So, and then I'll show you some of the one that we have just made. And I think I'm going to keep this one chunky. So, guys, you know, if you're cooking along at home, Justine, I know that you are. Once your fruit is cooked, then you can blend it if you want to, or you can keep it chunky. Actually, let's turn this off now. So there we go, guys. So it is really nice and chunky still. There, you can see all of those lovely parts are already cooked, soft, and those flavours will mingle more and more and more once we can this. So you can just use a Tupperware if you want to, that's absolutely fine, but it's a really, really good excuse to use these. So I know that you guys probably do this as well, like hoard all of these like different containers that you've got, these glass jars. So it's a really, really good way to use them. So you will need one that is around this size for this amount of chutney. Now this, it doesn't say the literage. Let me see. So this one as well, this one is a proper one, like it's a kiln jar one that I actually bought rather than using like yeah, one of these. But either or is absolutely fine. So yeah, but it's about that size. It's about that size. So I think I may have said on my other instructions here, yeah, 60 mil. Sorry, 600 mil. It makes around 600 mil of chutney. So yeah, you need a container that is that size basically, or over obviously. Okay, so let me just see if we have any more questions. So Justine says that it's working out better than cheesecake so far. Good, good, good. That's great. The cheesecake was really difficult. It was like, you know, it's more of a challenging recipe, definitely. So I'm glad this is going better, and it'd be really lovely if you can share images of what you have made later today on our hub. Right, Colleen says it's 7 AM here. So yeah, it's a little bit early to be making chutney. It is a little bit early to be making chutney, which is absolutely fair enough. Okay, guys. So thank you for joining me today. As I said earlier, please make sure that if you haven't joined our community hub, then please do. We've got lots of great posts in here. We make lots of announcements, and would also really, really love to see. Oh look, ducks! That's Doug's lovely risotto that he made. So it's always lovely to see what you guys are making. You know, and just get you guys chatting as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is a great place for you guys to ask us about, you know, recipes that you're having a problem with or ingredients that you're interested in but you don't know what to do with. So please do reach out and have a chat with us over in the community hub. Thank you so much for spending this crazy time with me today. A few technical problems, so thank you, thank you, thank you for bearing with it. And tomorrow we will be joined by Danielle again. And then the following Monday we will have a different guest chef with us. So the Monday slot is going to be one that changes a little bit, and we're going to have a few different guest chefs, and also some of our ex-students will pop up in those spots too. So it would be great to see what they have to share with us. And I am pretty sure that we're going to be able to get the Picky Wops guys back on a Monday at some point soon. But it will be Danielle sharing a trifle recipe with you tomorrow. So please do join us for that. And guys, as always, have a lovely day.